My name is Hadi. I am a software engineer at WhatsApp. Today I will talk about why WhatsApp still uses ListView on the chat screen, basically. I just wanted to start with a disclaimer. These are my views. I am not aware of an executive decision that WhatsApp should not ever use ListView or migrate to recycler view on the chat screen. Uh, these kinds of projects are driven by engineers. So an engineer like me can decide to do this project. Uh, so this title of this talk could be like why uh, and WhatsApp engineer haven't really decided to do this migration. I've seen a tweet about this topic a while ago, and it got some traction. So I thought it could be an interesting topic to talk about. Because why would one of the biggest apps in the world still uses the list view on their uh, most priority screen, basically? This is our chat screen. If you are not familiar with WhatsApp, Uh, we have different message types we support. We have a system message at the top. So this is what it looks like. I want to start with a comparison between ListView and Recycler View. ListView is as old as Android and it is introduced on API 1. It is introduced to display lists. The challenging thing about displaying lists is they can have infinite amount of items in there, and performance is really important because when you are scrolling, you have to adapt the changes, show the new elements, and remove the old elements going out of the screen. To do that, ListView recycles the views, so we don't have to recreate everything again and again. We will be passed with an old view, so we will update the view with the new information that will be displayed on the screen next. But ListView had a lot of issues. So Google decided to introduce Recycler View around 5 years after WhatsApp Android app is released. Let's see what advantages of Recycler View has over ListView. The first item is it enforces you to do the recycling and using view holders. Uh, with ListView API, it was not clear that you would have to do that, but Recycler View really made it obvious. So you have to do the recycling, you have to use view holders, so you don't have to do find view by ID over and over again. When I'm doing research online, it's mentioned that it provides better scroll performance, but I think this is questionable. As long as you do recycling and view holders, recycler view may not provide scroll performance benefit. The other improvement is it supports different layout types. You can have grids, staggered grids with recycler view. If these existing ones doesn't support your needs, you can create your own custom layouts, layout managers, and then set your recycler view and display the items in a way you want. Recycler view also supports item decorations. So depending on where they are displayed in the list, you can have customized views. Like you can do the first item on the row in a different style. So, or if you want to add numbers to it, you can do these kinds of things. Or if you want to change spacing between the items, you can do that. But this works this works better with grids and staggered grids. On a list, it's not too necessary. Up next, the animations. It has default animations, and but you can provide custom animations too. Default animations work out of the box. So if you add, remove, or update an item, it will just do the animations for you, which is not possible with the ListView. It was possible, but it wasn't this easy. One of the things that I really like about Recycler View is its integration with diffutil. Diffutil has a smart way of detecting which items are changed when you are trying to update the list. So it will not call the notify dataset change on the whole list and update individual items. And finally, when you are using Recycler View, you have ongoing support from Google. You can receive improvements, fixes, and stuff like this if you are using Recycler View. But with ListView, it is on the platform. It doesn't change a lot, so you will not get this benefit. Before I start talk about why WhatsApp uses ListView, I want to give a little bit information on how it is actually used. I think this is more controversial topic than WhatsApp uses the ListView, is WhatsApp uses cursor adapters. Traditionally, on regular Android development, you fetch your data from database, you create objects, you do this on a background thread, but pass these information to the main thread so you can lay this out in your screen. But cursor adapter does not work this way. With cursor adapter, you do your query, pass it to the cursor adapter, and whenever cursor adapter needs the data, it will read the data from the cursor on the main thread. So this is kind of different than using just a regular array adapter. We do some kind of caching, so if we need a message object, we check the cache first, and then look at the cursor to fetch it, so we don't have to create message objects whenever they are needed. The reason this is used is WhatsApp needs to respond to scroll really fast, and you can scroll many times in your chat list to get previous messages over and over again. When this is implemented, out of the libraries are not present, like paging libraries. So this was the solution to do better pagination. With the cursor adapter, we have a corresponding message view class. So let's say you have a text message, we have a text message view class to display that message. If we go back to our chat list, we have a system message, we have a push-to-talk message, we have an image, we have map, and they all have different layouts. And they are responsible to arrange themselves within their bounds. With this much message types, recycling is not always possible, because if a text message is going out, if you need to display an image, you cannot recycle that. So even though we try to do as much as recycling possible, that's not always possible. One other thing I wanted to talk about is updates to the list, because with Recycler View, it is more straightforward. You would use the diff util to do the updates. So how do we do it? We are doing it, if there's an update to the message, for example, if you reacted to a message with a thumbs up, the message will render that thumbs up emoji in their own area. But if we are doing addition or deletion of messages within the list, we have to call the data set, notify data set change, because that's what ListView provides us. When you are on the chat screen and actively messaging with someone, you want to immediately see the messages. You don't want any animations or anything like that to delay that information. So we don't do any kind of animation, which is one of the benefits of the diff util as well. Let's go back to the improvements that Recycler View provides, and see how useful that would be for WhatsApp chat lists. The first one is enforces recycling and view holders. We are kind of doing the view holders within the message view itself. So the message views has references to their children. So we are not doing find view by ID on every recycling. And we try to do recycling as much as possible. So this is not like a benefit to the WhatsApp. As I mentioned, this is questionable. I think this was because of lacking of recycling and view holders. Since we do it, this won't apply to us. Yesterday, I found the Google engineer and asked about this, if Recycler View would perform better on scroll than ListView, and they said that ListView introduced on Android's API 1, so it is optimized for even older devices. So you could get benefits, better scroll performance with ListView than Recycler View. As I just showed you, this is just a list. It is not a grid or any fancy layout. So we don't need to do any kinds of custom layouts or grids. So this is not really useful as well. As I mentioned, all the view objects does their own item decorations within their bounds. So we don't need to do any item decoration separately. Easier animations, as we want to show the information as fast as possible, we don't have or need animations at this point on the chat list screen. I think this is one of the few items that could be benefits that we can benefit from, is we have to call notify dataset change a lot. If we had a diff util, we could update individual messages, or when we add a message, we could just do it. But this is not possible. This is one of the potential benefits we could get if we migrate to Recycler View. The last item is ongoing support from Google. If you look at from the other side, this could be also an issue. So this view has been there for more than 10 years, and it has been proven to be working. We fixed the bugs that ListView has. We found workarounds to that. So having something that would be updated constantly would introduce a risk. So this may not be a good benefit for us as well. As you can see, this will be a significant effort to do the migration. So if we want to get the full benefit of recycling view, we need to change the data, how the data flows, how the views are created, and we have other stuff that we need to think about. So to make it worth it, there should be some user value. But as you can see, the improvement on the performance and reliability is questionable. We cannot be sure until we fully deploy this to the users and do an A/B test to make sure that actually provides a performance and reliability improvement. So without doing it, we cannot tell. So we cannot be sure about this. Other way of adding a user value is if developers can develop features related with the list view and they would have more time to work on other things, that would add a user benefits. But right now we have a working architecture. If I want to add a new message type, I will not be going and touching most of the core parts of this architecture. I will be just creating a view and a message type. It should mostly work. So it's not going to add a developer velocity to the equation. And finally, if there was a crucial security issue with the list view, we would have to migrate away from it, but this is not the case. The security, we really take the security issues seriously, but this is not the case as well. So this is not going to add a user value in terms of security. If we look at the costs, we have a significant amount of development time required to do this migration. So it should be on the cost side of the things. And this is a significant risk. Doing this kind of migration is a significant risk to performance and reliability, especially during the migration periods. WhatsApp is used more than 1 billion users daily on the Android side. So degrading the user experience even little is not really acceptable. So, and there's no easy way to do this migration as well. So there are two ways you can do that. The first one is having a feature flag and maintaining two different stacks with a list view and a recycler view. You compare these two, but with a development at this scale, it is really hard to maintain two different stacks that would work both list view and recycler view. And we cannot really just change it without a feature flag, because then we will not know about the improvements if we do the migration. So this would be a little bit blindly trying to do something. And the other thing is we cannot turn off the recycler view if something goes wrong terribly. So this is really risky project to do. And we have to check if recycler view will support all of our existing feature sets. We have message highlighting, scrolling to specific messages, I think we are abusing ListView API as much as we could to provide benefit to the users. We need to evaluate if we can do all of the things with the recycler view. So if something is not supported, then means we are losing a feature. It is one of the costs that we could have. And finally, opportunity costs. Could we do something better instead of just doing this migration? Maybe spend like 6 months on something that would provide a benefit to the users that we know more about, like looking at the data from the user surveys or looking at our PRE data to find other improvements. So investing in projects that has more obvious benefits could be a better choice. So I am not really here to sell you to the list view. I don't want to promote so you can use it on your projects. In fact, within the last 3 months, I've created 2 different recycler views on different screens of the app. The reason I wanted to talk about is that presenting this as a case study on how in the scale of WhatsApp we would have decisions on to do something or not. So if it is working and if there are no clear benefits, maybe it would be better to leave it as it is until some circumstances maybe force you to do so. For example, if we have a sudden security issue, then we will have to do it. But for now, it works well. It serves 1 billion users daily. And yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer.
I read a long time ago, so this cursor adapters, especially when the cursor is reading a page from the database, I think there is a limitation like a three kilobyte, let's say. It's reading at 3 kilobytes or whatever. So do you have a patch internally because they have some restriction? SQL cursors can read a specific size of page from the and that page size cannot be go more than let's say 3K. Do you have the kind of did you have any kind of issues before in the app, or do you know anything about it? Because I know for big data, the paging, SQL paging is not very efficient sometimes because it needs to make a too much TB call.
Yeah.
If the page ends suddenly.
So there's the question is about have we had issues with the SQL queries on the page size if you cannot hear from the back. As far as I know, no, we haven't because we try to keep the message objects to a minimal. They probably have their inner data limits. So as far as I know, we haven't had an issue with the page sizes like that.
Can we generalize this use case to the whole WhatsApp and the whole application and apply it to Compose, like you're not doing the switch to Compose due to all the facts that you mentioned?
So as I mentioned, we use recycler view, probably almost other parts of the app. So in terms of Compose, I think we just getting started with Compose. Yeah, you can take the idea of like what needs to have a decision to just migrate to ListView to recycler view. You can think of other areas, how to do migrations on the other areas like the compose. We are really careful about the PRE implications of things, so we move really slowly on that area and make sure that user experience will not be affected by changes on the UI.
Hi.
Hey.
Thanks for the talk. One question. When you said that for your use case of the chat, there is no like meaningful performance benefit in using the recycle view over the list view. Did you measure that in some way, or is just an intuition?
Yeah, that is intuition. If we think that would actually provide performance improvements, I think we would just try to go for it. But that's not certain in our case. And we can probably do some benchmarks locally to measure some of the things, but that doesn't really reflect the user experience. We have a lot of low-end user devices that we support. So we need to have data from the actual app to have these kinds of decisions, and to do that actually is actually building the feature and testing it with the real users. So we don't know if it would provide some benefits actually.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you very much.